Hey, welcome back to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. I'm your host, Coach Zach. I'm here with Coach Brandy and Coach Caden. And today we are talking about McFlation, which I'm super excited about. But before we get into today's episode, we want to give a little shout out to a client of the week. And this week's client shout out is Naomi Ozer, who is been here for 3 years now. And I honestly didn't think she was going to make it 3 months. So, and fair enough, her husband said the exact same thing. He's like, you guys deserve a medal for keeping her here this long. But she looks phenomenal. Like I saw her working out the other day and just like arms were looking all like lean and toned. And I don't know if anybody like hates working out more than she does. There's somebody out there somewhere, but she just consistently like shows up, works hard. And I know she's just like, doesn't necessarily enjoy it, but she's committed to doing it and the results like amazing. Right. So I'm so proud of her and just happy. And I remember like her coming in and I was training at the time. I think we're in between coaches for a little while. And so she was working with me and every single time she'd come in and she'd be like, am I with you today? And I was like, yeah. And she'd just be like, oh no. Anyway, just Naomi,
she's great.
You're amazing. And I'm so proud of you. And thank you for your commitment. And I'm so glad that you're just have seen incredible results. It's awesome. It's awesome. Love it. So, all right, guys, let's talk about McFlation. Brandy, that was your term. I don't know if you,
McFlation.
I don't know if you have heard that somewhere or if
I must have heard that somewhere. I don't think I'm that clever to come up with it on my own, but maybe.
It's awesome. It's awesome. So, another gym owner sent me this, and it's a price breakdown of end of 2019 fast food prices on like common items and then mid 2024. So where we're at right now, and it shows like the percentage increase in the prices for these items. So this was a big report. We just have McDonald's, Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A. I don't eat at any of those places, so this doesn't impact me. I've actually never been to a Chick-fil-A. I've never had Chick-fil-A in my entire life. So everybody raves about how good it is. Sorry, can't relate. But I'm going to go to you, Brandy, because you have the price sheet in front of you.
I do.
And maybe you can just pick out like 3 or 5 options from each and just share like the price increase with people over the last, few years.
Okay. And I think these are kind of shocking, especially if you look at the percent increase. So from McDonald's, if we go there first, the largest increase is with the McChicken sandwich. So that went from $1.29 in 2019 to $3.89. It's over a 200% increase.
200%
Yes.
increase. Crazy.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, this other one surprised me too. 10-piece McNuggets went from $4.49. It now costs $7.58 for 10-piece nuggets.
$7 for 10 chicken nuggets.
Yes.
Anybody get full off of 10 chicken nuggets?
No.
Like how much protein is that? Like 10 grams?
I don't know.
It's more than it's like $1 a gram of protein.
Right.
I don't know that for a fact. Okay.
If we go to Taco Bell, so the largest percent increase in Taco Bell was their beefy 5-layer burrito. I have no idea what is included in the beef. I don't know,
but it's not real food. I can tell
layers. You It went from $1.69 to $3.69, so 118% increase there. There was also a large increase in their nachos Bel Grande.
Oh, the nachos Bel Grande, so good.
79% increase. If we go to Chick-fil-A, the largest increase there was the 8 Chick-fil-A nuggets.
Okay.
Is almost
nuggets?
Chick-fil-A nuggets.
Okay, Chick-fil-A nuggets.
I don't know. I've never ordered them.
All right.
For $3.05 to $5.99. It's about 100% increase there.
100% increase.
Yeah.
Doubled in price.
Yes.
Doubled in price.
Yeah. I also thought this was interesting. So if you look at McDonald's, I think this was the largest increase. If you look at the average price increase across like multiple different items, it was 141% average in McFlation.
1.5 times like more expensive. It's crazy. It's crazy, guys. And here's the thing that I find shocking is everybody's feeling it, right? Everybody's feeling like the price increases on everything and the inflation, but y'all didn't even bat an eye. You know, like what I mean, when it comes to fast food, it's interesting how people just look at fast food as being cheap, right? And so everybody's complaining about how expensive groceries are, right? You go to the grocery store and you buy something, you're like, man, that's so expensive. But then you go to McDonald's and you'll pay 200% more for your McChicken sandwich, and you don't even complain about it, right? And you're poisoning yourself. You're paying that much more money to poison yourself, basically. Yeah. It's we have our priorities messed up in this country, right? Like that's all I can really say about that is if you're still going and you're paying those prices for that, and you're not thinking like, hey, this is terrible for me, maybe I should go to the grocery store, and like now's a good time to reorient, right? And just kind of like reprioritize. And it's amazing what people pay for convenience, I guess.
Yeah. I think that is what people, think they're paying for, the convenience, but it will cost you more eating at McDonald's. So I did some comparison, but before I jump into the comparison, so I also looked, the average American eats at fast food restaurants 2 to 3 times per week.
2 to 3 times per week.
The average American.
Okay.
Yeah, so average.
And that's not like a family. That's just like an individual.
Right.
I wonder what it is for like a family of 4. You go to McDonald's for like a family of 4, right? And a McChicken cost you what was $7 or something? Yeah. Like you're getting fries on top of that. What was an increase in fries, Brandy?
French fries went from $1.79 to $4.19 for a medium French fry, and people are ordering the large.
So you're talking like what, $15 a person, right?
Yeah.
By the time you get everything
I did the math, actually.
Okay, all right.
Okay, because I wanted to compare this to, because like you mentioned, people say, well, groceries have gone up as well, so I'm better off just going to fast food because it's more expensive to go to the grocery store. So I did the math, so I just chose, like, from McDonald's, if you were to purchase the McCrispy meal, which includes the chicken sandwich, a drink, which usually is soda, right? A drink and fries. So that costs $11.09. That's for one person. So let's say you have a family of 4, and the family of 4 goes through McDonald's. You get your dinner at McDonald's. That will cost $44.36 to feed a family of 4.
What can you buy at the grocery store for $44?
So $44.36. So if you compare that to a grocery store, so let's say you buy a package of chicken. So I looked at like frozen chicken, potatoes compared to the French fries, and then milk instead of like your soda from McDonald's. Okay. So to feed a family of 4 on chicken, potato, and milk, that will cost $13.18 compared to $44.36.
Wow.
I even have more math. I am not. I am not a math person.
Okay. But you're a mom.
Okay, but I'm a mom.
You're a mom.
So let's go back to McDonald's. $44.36. I apologize for all the math. on average 3 times a week. So family of 4 eating at McDonald's 3 times a week. That's $133.08. There's 4 weeks in a month. That's $532.32 a month eating fast food for a family of 4.
That's a lot of groceries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You compare that to like the chicken dinner that I mentioned, for a family of 4 to eat that type of a meal 4 times a month is $158.16 compared to $532.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
And I was just going to say, that's just the impact on the pocketbook. That's not even, we're not even going into nutrition yet.
For the amount of money you're going to pay for the cancer that you get from eating all that, like all the health problems you have from actually eating McDonald's. That supersized guy died recently, right? Yeah.
Cancer, right? I think of cancer.
Like, yeah. So one, you're spending a fortune on fast food and stuff that's garbage for you, and then 2, you're just creating disease for yourself and your kids. You're a bad parent. I'm just putting that out there. For buying your kids fast food, it just is what it is. Sorry. And here's the thing, right? What we do, Caden, you haven't said a word. I'm just going to bring you the conversation. You're just sitting there like, yeah, I know, right? What we do is looked at as a luxury. People look at personal training. They're like, that's so expensive. I won't do that, right? But they won't even bat an eye. They won't even bat an eye at $500 a month for fast food.
Right.
Because there's no work that has to be done. It's just the convenience. The thing is, like, you have to get the you have to go to the grocery store. You have to buy the chicken and the potatoes and the milk, and then you got to go home and you got to cook the chicken and the potatoes and drink the milk. I don't pour the glass. It's not poured for you already in a cup nicely, right? And people will just, convenience sake, they'll just spend that. And it's just, guys, we got to get our priorities
right
in alignment. Now is the perfect time. Like, if there's ever been an incentive for you, this is it, because eating fast food is not cheaper than buying groceries. Like, I don't know if it ever was. I think that was just kind of, a maybe like marketing message that was kind of put out there to get people to be like, no, it's, cheap to come to fast food. I remember when I was a kid, it would be like a very special occasion for us if my parents took us to Burger King and we got $1 Whoppers. You guys remember the $1 Whoppers? So like, this maybe happened a total of like 5 times my entire childhood, but I remember it would be like a special occasion. We would stop and we'd go to Burger King and we'd get like the $1 Whopper and some fries, and that was like our treat,
Yeah.
And it probably cost my family of 4 like whatever McChicken costs now, right? Like just one McChicken or whatever. So now's the time, guys. Like, now's the time to invest in your health, because you're spending a fortune and you're killing yourself at the same time, and you don't feel good.
Yeah, you don't feel good. I mean, we're at an all-time like obesity high in this country. I mean, it really is a crisis. And, if you think that the average American is eating fast food, 3 times a week, that's half, if you eat there 3 times a week for dinner, that's like half your dinners in a week. You're eating fast food. You're not getting the nutrition that you need. That's why we're suffering from this obesity crisis. And one of the reasons is, this fast food, I'll call it an epidemic.
I like it. Caden.
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything here?
I'll jump in just for one. I'm going to say kind of one touch point that I'm going to say is like very similar to this topic, but I'm going to say like just having the mindset shifted to I'm going to say just like a healthier mindset. I'm going to say like something that like I've had conversations with like clients about, and they're always like, oh, what kind of shoes should I work out in? Like, like what are the benefits of these kind? What are the benefits of these kind? And I'm going to say a lot of times like they'll just be like, oh, I'll just go with these because they're a little bit cheaper. And it's like, you guys see me, I wear shoes that have holes in them. They're $170, but I only buy them, I'm going to say every so often. And I'm going to say I'll wear Holy shoes to benefit my foot strength, foot health. I'm going to say I'll go out of my way to, I'm going to say, cook that meal rather than, I'm going to say, deciding to go out. I'm going to say, let's say you get home from work, rather than just saying, I'm going to go sit down on the couch, go for a 20-minute walk. And I'm going to say it kind of shifts the mindset from, hey, this is just one thing to, hey, this is my overall health. This is my life. And I'm going to say that's something that you can really, I'm going to say, find that little thing that in your head you tell yourself, like, hey, this is why I'm doing it. And like, I'll tell you all, I don't really talk about it a lot. I'm single. I got no kids whatsoever. I'm going to say the reason I'm as hard and as strict on myself right now is because when I do have kids one day, I want them to look at me and say, that's my dad, he's a superhero. And so I'm gonna say that's what keeps me going. No wife, no kids, no girlfriend, but that's what keeps me going. So I'm gonna say find whatever that is in your mind that pushes you to live healthier, whether it's nutrition, weight room, whatever. And I'm gonna say use that to your advantage. And I'm gonna say repeat that to yourself, write it down, do whatever you gotta do to remind yourself every day that you have a reason, you have a purpose, and you're looking to do something better with your life.
Drop the mic.
The end. Okay, guys.
Nice,
Well,
Kaden.
it just came in a strong right at the end. Okay. I don't think there's anything left to say.
No.
All right,
Kaden,
guys.
that's awesome.
Thanks, Brandy.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with more great stuff. Thank you so much for listening to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. Do you have a question that you'd like for us to answer live on the podcast? If so, all you need to do is head over to the Apple Podcast app on your iPhone and do 3 simple things. First, leave us a rating and review telling me what you think of the podcast. In that review, ask anything you want related to health, fitness, or nutrition. And if you want a shout out, leave us your Instagram handle or name. That's all you have to do. Then listen to hear your questions answered live on the next Q&A episode.